Okay, so here's another box full of stuff. This is a California medallion. It's gold. Not really sure what it's worth. Here's a what's that, a silver dollar. It says 1922. Here's a gold coin that's all encased in plastic so it doesn't get scratched or anything. It's got Kennedy on it. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Here's another gold coin of some sort. Here's what? Another silver dollar. American Eagle. What's it say? 1926, I think it says. Here's a 50-cent piece. Doesn't look that old. It says 1971. You can hear it though, it's definitely silver. And here's another silver coin. Looks like maybe a $50 or something. There's more buffalo head nickels. More, that's a Canadian penny. Here's more wheat pennies. There's there's quite a bit of those. There's a lot of them actually. See all the wheat pennies. Now, on top of that, there are like these really dainty gold chains. Like, hard to even see that really. The only part of it that's not pure, gold is the clasp. I wouldn't even mess with these because they're so, they're so fragile. It's like if they get caught on anything, they're gonna pull right off of you or whatever. I would, I'm sure a lot of people would never even notice it had come off. There's another, string of pearls. Now this I really like. This is hand carved out of some kind of bone. It's a necklace. I'm not sure what I'll do with that. Probably give it to my lady or something. It's really kind of neat. Over here, we've got a garnet with a couple diamond chips. I'm going to end up popping those stones out and just throwing the gold in the whole dissolving the mix. Here's another really nice pink gemstone. It's really big. With diamond chips around it. Looks like 20 or 30. I'll end up popping all these stones out of there and then throwing the gold in the mix that's gonna, be dissolved. Here's a, oh yeah, this one I've always wondered about because the gemstone in it is so big. It's like, it just is. It's really big. I don't know, if it's a real diamond necessarily. Most of the stuff I can't imagine it's not because it came from, like my grandpa. He was a hospital administrator. He was big business. His second wife, her first husband, was mayor of Woodland at one point. He was agri-businessman of the year a few times. I saw the newspaper articles. I had no idea what a big deal he was. But he died before my grandpa ever got together with Jerry, and when she passed away, she was worth like $1.5 million. She left me 50 grand, because I was the only grandkid that she actually ever had. And that was so out of the blue. I'd never in a million years had even considered that she would leave me anything. And so when I got the big old manila envelope, saying, you know, to Ian Matthew Kelly, the sum of $50,000, my mouth just dropped to the floor. I couldn't fucking believe it. But that was because of her husband, her first husband. Extremely successful, obviously. So that's a Susan B. Anthony. Now here's a diamond wedding ring. I'm going to pop out all these stones. There's 7 diamonds. And then I'll take the ring and put it in the gold dissolve batch. Here's another gold coin, Liberty. Yeah, nice. Here's a locket with a chain. I don't know if it's 14K or what, but it's gold. Let's see. Who's in it? Well, I'm not even sure who this is. It's somebody's kids. That's pretty neat. Here's another gold coin. Now I found these in a watertight box floating down the river. They don't stick to a magnet at all, so I gotta imagine that this isn't pyrite, that it's actually really real gold. And so I'll be crushing that and putting it in the mix to dissolve with the rest of the gold. Pretty neat actually. Here we've got another gold chain with a tiny little heart charm on it. Let's see. We've got another locket. It's gold. My printer could actually print something to fit in that. Super nice. I might actually just do that. Give it to my lady or something as a present. This isn't precious metal or anything, but it's super nice. It's a hand painted, stick pin with a flower on it. And then there's some more gold coins in here, more buffalo nickels, more wheat pennies. So it's like I'm gonna get busy here, probably this afternoon, and like that. Where'd that wedding ring go? I like this thing. It's probably gonna be one of the first things I do is extract these diamonds, pop them out, put them in a little Ziploc in a bag, and put them off to the side, where I'm going to actually just keep the gemstones that I'm collecting out of all this. There's definitely more. I already know that. I forget where I put the stuff. It might just still be in the safe over there. I'm going to have to finish this whole video as far as, what I'm putting into all this whole thing later. But I started with this stuff last night, which I've collected since 2010, which is like almost 20 years now. I never throw away a computer or a phone or anything like that without without dismantling it first and then keeping all the PCBs, the printed circuit boards. And God, I couldn't believe it. I went and looked yesterday, started pulling them out, and I just have a ton of this stuff. You know, I mean, there must have been 100 RAM chips, some laptop, you know, everything else. And so I just started cutting the you know, the gold fingers off the bottom of those. Probably cut the gold fingers off of, you know, 100 RAM chips. And I'm pretty sure that these, I forget what you call these kind of chips exactly. I'm pretty sure, like, once these come off of the printed circuit board, that in the back, they have, you know, gold wire type connections. I'm not to that yet. I'm gonna do like an initial batch of just the really easy stuff, where the like the fingers and the connectors. This was a solid state drive that goes inside your laptop, where you know, all that basically is dissolved and filtered out with a colander and stuff. You know, and it's just a huge thing of gold flake. It's not pure, but you know, I'll have a really big, you know, like, you know, little snot collection of you know, of gold flakes and stuff. It won't be pure yet, but just like one more process after that to dissolve the stuff, and then an acid resin mix with some borax and whatever, and all of a sudden the gold is pure, and it you know, presents itself. These are like CPUs. All these connectors are gold. It's kind of hard to see, but they are. Let's see. I know there's some more CPUs. The CPUs really do have quite a bit of gold. And all these connectors, like on the side here, all those little connector fingers and stuff have gold on them. You know, I'm gonna end up putting all these circuit boards in a big old bucket of you know, nitric acid and hydrogen peroxide. Let it sit overnight, kind of stir it here and there, and it's all gonna fall off the green PCB. And then you know, a couple more times filtering it out and stuff, and you know, I won't have any of the copper or anything. I'll just have the pure gold. But what was I looking for? That's right. I was looking for the other CPUs that I have. There are still a couple there. I know that. I'm just not seeing them. But like on the motherboards, the sockets that the CPUs plug into, like this one here, you know, it sits down in there, and you throw the lever and it locks it in. Well, on the other side of the chip, the part it's connecting to and locking in on, you know, all that's gold as well. You know, if you look at this, you know, there's more gold on these connectors. So I'm gonna be working on doing all that stuff. I still have to take some of this crap apart. I don't want to be putting all of this in a bucket. Let's see. Oh, in my garage, I still have more motherboards, more CPUs that I have to break out. Let's see if I bear with me. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not, but I have colon cancer, and oh man, you know, I never in a million years could imagine how fucking rough this shit is. It's unbelievable. But I'm dealing with that, which is kind of why I started these projects, because I realized I was going to be spending more time at home. Here we've got the helping hands, which has got the big magnifying glass with the LED light and the alligator clips that hold stuff for you. It's kind of neat. So yeah, this box. Here's here's like a lot of the fingers that I just cut off last night off the ram chips and stuff. You know, any of that you see that's gold, it's gold. You know, there's quite a bit of it actually. It's the first thing I'm going to do is run this through the like nitric acid mix and stir it, and before you know it, it's going to be like a green solution with with gold flakes floating through it as I'm stirring it, and I'll have to filter all that, to get like a little, like spoonful of gold pudding, let's say. Now, this right here in this bag, this is from an old batch that I never completed necessarily. I melted the stuff down and everything, but I didn't do the final step, which is where you put the borax and you heat it up, and it binds it all together and it makes it shiny. But this, it's kind of hard to see, but there's already a fat lump of, this is pure gold, 24K. There's already a fat ass lump right here that I'll be adding to the whole thing. From, I don't know, this is from like 2011 maybe. There's those other CPUs I was talking about. See the gold. And in this box, there's a bunch of other stuff that I'll be just kind of dismantling, taking the gemstones out of. There's a bunch of hand-carved jade, like elephants, and some pretty neat stuff, really. There's a little screwdriver that's been, I don't know if it's gold plated or what. It's kind of neat though. Let's see. These are really cool. These are like Indian or something. There's like turquoise, hand carved beads, turquoise, whatever, that have been formed into a necklace. I really kind of like it. I think it's neat. There's some more jade, like on a tiny little spoon. What does that say? It says, I can't really tell what it says, but it's neat. It's a nice watch. There's a